Emperor Khan, thank you for joining me here this afternoon. I know it's a hectic time for us, invading other realms and all. It's just there are a few concerns we need to go over.
Concerns? What kind of concerns?
For example, the quarterly employee satisfaction survey. We're getting a lot of consistent feedback citing unsafe work environment, nepotism. One of your employees even described you as, and I quote, that fucking douche helmet.
Who is the weak, pathetic fool that would dare say such a thing?
Yeah, I was going to get to that. You really need to cut out this obsession with fools. Mr. T's people are not happy. If you remember, he did fight for Outworld that year that Goro had mono, so he has jurisdiction. They've already filed a cease and desist, and they're like 2 minutes away from a full-fledged lawsuit.
How am I supposed to strike fear in my enemies if I can't insult them before our epic flip battle?
HR has considered that, so I'm happy to say we have produced a royalty-free list of approved insults. I'm just going to toss a few in the air. Feel free to tell me what catches you. Wanker, Hosebeast, Curmudgeon, Old Humbug, Buttweasel. That's a personal favorite.
This is ridiculous. Why don't I just feed him and his lawyers to my giant Hydra monsters and call it a day?
Sir, I'm not even sure you're legally permitted to house said monsters. Granted, there isn't really a legal precedent for raising and feeding giant transforming Hydra monsters. And if you were using them in more of a combat role, sure, we could swing that. But as far as I can tell, you're just keeping them over there in that expensive and elaborate lair of yours. Meanwhile, you have the Tarkatans working 80-hour work weeks, and the Shokans aren't taking their breaks again. The overtime is killing us, and I'm getting reports that these cages aren't up to code. Someone could get seriously hurt if one of them were to fall.
Well, I would hope so.
Sir, I'm going to be honest. Looking at our P&L, especially considering that we are currently in the midst of a violent overthrow of another realm, these numbers just don't make a lot of sense. Productivity is at an all-time low, and your approval rating, I'm sorry to say, is even lower than the Onaga administration. And that guy was a real a-hole, if you'll pardon my French. What exactly, Emperor, do you do all day?
I rule Outworld with my giant hammer!
Okay, let's use our indoor voice, please. How about this? Just walk me through a typical day in the life of Emperor Shao Kahn.
Alright, well, I get up around 11:30, noonish, depending. Stretch a bit, have my morning laugh. It's always usually a good one. Polish my helmet for about an hour.
Oh, sir, that is inappropriate. Oh, the scary skull face thing. Okay, please continue.
Then I do some DDP yoga, practice my flips. Mid to late afternoon laugh at that point. Play Words with Friends for a bit, some WWE Supercard. Then I practice my hammer throw. Usually around this time I get kind of cranky and a little hungry. It's when I kill off one of my generals. Always seems to cheer me up. Then there's the early evening laugh.
Wait. You kill off your own generals. How is that supposed to benefit you in the merging of the realms in any way?
Well, I have to feed my giant reptilian demon something.
I don't even know how I'd begin to explain that to HR. This whole time we've been filling out these workplace casualties under actual combat. Does it not concern you a bit that you're losing generals at an alarming rate?
Can't say I ever noticed.
Okay. This folder in front of me here is just for the workplace deaths in the last 2 months. Just let me rattle off some names for you here. Kintaro, Moloch, Kira, Draman, Cobra, Hotaru, Suhao, Jarek, Reiko.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you just made up like half of those.
Sir, our profits do not justify this kind of turnover rate. You're housing unlicensed creatures in an impractical and highly dangerous lair, and you're up against a Shaolin monk. Remember, they're a not-for-profit. With all the tax breaks they get, they can afford to drop arcade machines on top of people. Hell, I'm pretty sure one of them can even transform into one of them. Do you know how much it costs to transport one of those things?
Fine, Vern. What do you suggest?
Well, we have a few options here. Take in Bison, for example. Obviously has a strict fashion budget, went through a messy divorce. He just brainwashes teenage girls with his psycho power. Or hell, look at Heihachi. Lots of legal trouble after he tossed his son into that volcano. And there was the failed merger with Street Fighter. He uses robots. Now, obviously it won't be as advanced as the Lin Kuei ninja stuff we've been using, but we could look into some Molder Jack models. But one thing we've always prided ourselves on here in Outworld is the diversity of our workforce. And I will say you have done a stellar job in that. We have centaurs, Shokan, Tarkatans, reptiles, those guys with the axe things, reanimated corpses. And on that front, we have made a few new lower-level hires. We've brought on a really sharp guy named Kotal. He's sort of an Aztec sun god guy. I see upper-level management written all over him. We've also hired Devora. She's, a bug lady.
A what?
She's a creepy bug lady.
Can't we just hire more colored ninjas?
Mr. Khan, what colors are left? Mauve? Off-white? Chameleon really screwed us there, you know? And we can't even use chartreuse because female chameleon took that.
Well, what about hot pink?
Emperor Khan, you want a hot pink-colored ninja on the battlefield. Should I just go and call Amy Jo Johnson's people?
Oh, that'd be great. Is she available?
Of course she's available! But let's say we even get her on board. We pay for uniform, orientation, training videos, drug testing, then she goes and does something to piss you off. What's the first thing that's going to happen?
I'd feed her to the monsters. I see your point.
Look, this is nothing we can't fix. We're just going to have to cut a few corners here and there. Maybe nix the whole living tree idea, the pool of acid. I'm also going to schedule you for some sensitivity training. I'm sensing a lot of issues with your father, and I think it'll be good for you.
Well, I can still overthrow Earth and kill everyone there, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, what are we, a bunch of pussies? This is Outworld. Break all the sacred rules you want. I don't care. We just need to do it on a budget.
Outstanding.